Hello, Steve Mills here from the Association of Prudent Marketing. Thank you once again for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about an area of marketing known as targeting, your target market. Now I know I've spoken about this before, but I want to talk to you about it in a different way. We all know our target market. The question is, how do we reach it? The truth of that is there are many ways of doing so, but I wanted to talk to you today about technology and how you can more effectively target people, and you can target people who are actually interested in you and what you do. So what am I talking about here? Well, I'm talking about remarketing or retargeting, as it's sometimes called. And this is a process that's been available now, I think probably about 18 months, something like that. Some websites have only just started this process. For example, LinkedIn now, literally as I record this in the last few weeks, have introduced this, whereas Google have had this around for probably 18 months. What is it? Remarketing is several things actually. Firstly, it's the ability to target people who have already visited your website. So for example, if you come to my website and then a little while later you disappear off my site, you don't make any buying decisions right then, but you've been to my website because you're interested at some level in me or my company or my products and services. So you've got some interest to visit my website. You then disappear off, and because we're utilizing Google and Google's partner network of 2.5 million other websites, we are advertising on those sites. Now the good thing about that is this is pay-per-click advertising. This is not something that's costing us a great deal of money. This is something that we pay when people who visited our website click and go back to our website again. So we're paying for additional website visits from people who are already interested. Now that's one way of doing it. Now you can do that through many different sites. The top ones, as mentioned, Google, Facebook are really good at this, and LinkedIn have just introduced this. Other things that you can do are remarketing through uploading your email list to those sites. So for example, on LinkedIn, you can take your email list, you can upload it into LinkedIn, and then you can advertise to that email list. Now, in the days where people talk about spam and emailing too often and so on and so forth, firstly I'd say I don't think that's the case. Certainly not emailing too often. There's only too boring. There's not too often. What this enables us to do is to advertise to those people. So I can take my list, my whatever it is, 10,000 people on my list, I can upload it into LinkedIn and I can advertise to those people on LinkedIn. Now it works in the same pay-per-click manner. So in other words, if nobody clicks on my list, in other words this marketing idea doesn't work, then what's it cost you? Costs you nothing apart from a little bit of time of uploading your list and setting it up. If it does work, you're advertising to people who are already interested in you, i.e. they're on your email list. And the same can be done on Facebook, and the same can be done on Google, and by the time you read this, probably on a dozen other websites as well, and search engines, social media sites, and so on and so forth. So that's it really for this week. Now you may be thinking, well, that's all very well, Steve, but how do I do this? And the truth is, you need to learn this. I can't actually physically show you on this video because it would take too long. But what I would suggest, you've got a couple of options. One, you just find somebody who can do this. We could do it for you. I'm really not using the association to try and sell you other things. That's not the purpose. But if you want us to, just ask. If not, you can find a load more other people who could do this for you too. It shouldn't cost a great deal of money. It literally is a one-off setup, and you might want to alter things a little bit as you go along, but pretty much it's just a one-off setup fee. And I'd strongly recommend that you give it a try. The other way, of course, is just to learn how to do it yourself. It's not that complicated. It involves setting the ad up and then embedding a little bit of code into your website that enables Google and the other providers to track people who, for example, been to your website. If you want to learn how to do it, the first place I'd go is probably have a look on YouTube, see if there's a video there showing you how to do it. I'm sure there will be, so take a look at that. Failing that, just find a good workshop and go and be taught how to do it. I'm sure it'll pay dividends in the future. So that's about it for this week. Thank you ever so much for listening, and once again, it's all about taking action. The association. What I don't want you to do is to sit there and think, well, that was interesting, that was a good idea, Steve, and then do nothing. Let's just test this in a small conservative manner. Set a daily budget, by the way. You don't want, let's say you get, 2,000 people to your website every day, and a click is going to cost you 50p. You don't want, 1,000 of them necessarily clicking there. So what happens is you set a daily budget that you're comfortable with, and that can be as low as, I think, probably £10, something like that. But let's say you set a daily budget of £50, and once your £50 runs out, then it stops working until the following day. So just to clarify, that's how it works. So yeah, go and take a look at that, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thanks ever so much for listening.